Guys, so I'm going to be talking about The Fortress of Solitude by Jonathan Latham. Hey guys, I'm going to be talking about The Fortress of Solitude by Jonathan Latham. There's so much to talk about, I'm just going to jump in. So it's a very complex novel, structurally, story-wise. It's trying to kind of capture not only a time and a place specifically, but also deeper themes between childhood, adolescence, race, the love of music, the impact of culture and society, as well as pop culture society, the different experiences growing up in different races and different ethnicities over time. Uh, there's a lot to talk about. And it's actually one of those, like, I've taken so long to do it because there's so much I want to talk about. I don't know if I could just do it in one go. So I've actually been putting this review off forever, just trying to think of a where to start. Plot-wise, it's basically just the story of these two friends growing up in Brooklyn in the 70s, and how one of them's the son of an artist, and the other is the son of like a famous soul singer from the 60s. But it follows the course of their whole lives and then the different divergent paths they take. It's a hyper-realistic novel, except for the fact that there is this added magical realism bit to where they have a ring that grants them flying and invisibility powers. So it's one of those, it's not easy to pigeonhole as far as category or genre, but it's definitely well worth to read, because there's so much more going on than I could pack in just like a few minutes in this video. I might even just do like a follow-up video, just kind of giving just my general thoughts on it. Maybe when I've had like time to maybe sit down and actually write out something about it. But I just have been putting this review off, and I have told you guys I would get around to doing it, so that's what I'm trying to do now. It's amazing. It's actually one of the best. I say that a lot, but it's actually one of the best novels I've read, just ever. Like, not even in like some time, but just in general. I highly encourage everybody to check it out, and it makes me excited to read other works by Jonathan Latham. Just seeing what he did in this novel definitely makes me excited to read more by him. I don't know. It's definitely a very literary undertaking, because you can tell he's trying to tackle huge themes, but present them in a way that's relatable. And there's just several things in it that I personally connected to. The love of music is evident in Latham's writing. The extraordinarily captured sense of childhood. The novel structurally alternates between third, first, and second person very effectively. And it does so in ways that actually make sense to the story and only go to highlight what's being talked about, as opposed to just merely showing off for literary form's sake. I can't really think of any complaints with it. The only kind of complaint I would have with it is that there are times when Latham seems almost kind of, not intentionally so, but his sentences and the structure of his story seems almost like he's showing off a bit. But I don't really think he is. I think what he's actually saying is in service to his story, and he's just saying it the best way he can to tell his story. Sorry. I highly recommend everybody, though, to check out Fortress of Solitude. It's one of those, like, there's so much to say that I can't say anything about it. But it's highly, definitely well worth the read, especially if you like literary fiction, and especially if you're interested to see kind of what I feel is the shape of modern novelists to come. I definitely, as pretentious as that sounds, it's not just a reference to Ornette Coleman. It's what I honestly feel like is, I think he's kind of representing this new kind of wave of fiction in America, and how it's not afraid to be different, and be realistic, but be surrealistic, and be imaginative, and be fantasy lumped in with hyper-realistic writing, or just taking new ideas and being not afraid to explore them. I think that's really cool. And this novel does this. It really swings for the fucking fences. Like, this novel was like, you can tell like he put blood, sweat, and tears into this project. You can tell that he's really trying to give it his damnedest to write this great masterpiece of a novel. And I think not only he succeeds, but he succeeds amazingly. And it's honestly one of the few novels I got so emotional at that I wanted to cry at several places. It's funny, it's interesting, it's heartwarming, it's weird, it's quirky, it's deeply sympathetic. I think it's also very universal as far as a lot of the things that the characters go through and how they feel, and he represents that very well to the reader. So, I'll definitely do a follow-up video, but this is just kind of my general impressions on it. I'll go. I actually plan on trying to start scripting these videos when I talk about these books, so it might take me a little longer than I have been to upload them. And I'll definitely write out kind of my thoughts on this and just do a probably just more of a voiceover video of just talking about it. But those are my thoughts on the Fortress of Solitude. I really want to advocate this book because I think it's great, and I think it needs much more attention and exposure than it already has. And I definitely am excited to see not only what Latham does, but what other writers kind of in his peer group do, and how they kind of are taking and expanding, literature, I feel like, and taking it new and exciting places. So anyway, those are just my first general scattered thoughts. I really should have just I should have just wrote out my thoughts beforehand, but I try to do these videos as if I'm just talking to you in person, so that's why I just kind of did it extemporaneously. But anyway, so yes, read it, it's fantastic, and even though I just couldn't really talk about it in depth or in much detail, I still highly recommend it. And I again, follow-up video. So, and on an unrelated note, as far as that joke at the beginning of the video, I was just kidding. I actually love Goosebumps and I love R.L. Stein. That was just a joke. So R.L. Stein, if you ever watch this, I don't hate your work. It's just a joke I do. So, all right, catch you guys later. Bye.